Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today I'm very excited to share what we're cooking because it's one of my favorite recipes. It's spaghetti carbonara. So let's jump into the ingredients, but before we do that, I must say that there are many variations of how to prepare spaghetti carbonara. And what I share with you today is what I believe to be the most authentic way which I think respects this recipe. So what we'll be using is pecorino romano cheese, which is a classic Roman cheese, guanciale, eggs, black pepper, and whatever pasta you use, take as your fancy. In my case, it's spaghetti. But as you can see, it's very simple ingredients, but there's some ingredients that don't make sense, like peas, no garlic, no onions, and absolutely no cream. So let's get started. First thing to do is prepare the guanciale. So the guanciale is the jaw of the pork, which is cured and abundantly seasoned with pepper and other herbs. How I like to prepare this is basically just cut it into like longish pieces. Not too thick, not too thin either. So we cut up our guanciale and we'll be moving on to the pecorino, which we will need to grate. We'll need about 50 grams of pecorino per portion. So whilst we're grating this pecorino romano, everybody knows that spaghetti carbonara is a famous dish, but do we know where the recipe originates from? Well, it turns out we're not really sure, but the most accepted story takes place on the 22nd of September in 1944, towards the end of the Second World War, in a small seaside town called Riccione in Italy, north of Rome. And basically this young chef named Renato Gualandi is hired by the Allied forces to prepare lunch for American and English troops. And since the American troops had an abundance of eggs and bacon and cheese and pasta, they basically put these ingredients together and made the first carbonara. Then from that point on, the American troops were so blown away by this dish that they hired Renato to be their cook until the end of the war in 1945, and in that time he cemented this dish in Italian cuisine basically. So the cheese is grated. Next we can prepare the eggs. Now, how many eggs? It's a question of preference, but my rule of thumb is that you take one whole egg and one yolk, and then you add an extra yolk for each portion that you will be preparing. So in my case, since I'm preparing a portion for two, we need one whole egg and 3 egg yolks. So we'll proceed on doing that. Alright, so next we can proceed with starting to boil our pasta. Pretty standard, just boiling water with a little bit of salt, not too much since the guanciale is already quite salty, and we can just drop in the pasta. It's important to cook the pasta just a little bit less, a minute or two, than the packaging indicates. Next, here we have our pan. We can warm up the pan and we can drop in the guanciale. There's no need of putting any oil or butter in the pan since we will be rendering the fat inside the guanciale. Alright, so whilst the guanciale and the pasta are being cooked, we can proceed with doing the egg and cheese mixture. So as we said, we prepared our eggs, shaved our pecorino, and we can simply drop in the eggs. So we'll add a crack or two of black pepper in there, and we'll also add a tablespoon or two of cooking water, and we'll continue to mix that. We're ready to take out the pasta. And first thing to do is we need to reserve some of the pasta water that we will be needing for later. Can switch that off. And we'll transfer the pasta into our pan with the guanciale. Okay, so this is a very important step. When we take the pasta off the heat, we need to give it some time to cool down. As you can see, it's still sizzling here. So, and the reason is that if we had to add the egg mixture now to the pasta, basically we would be cooking the eggs, and we would basically have spaghetti scrambled eggs, and we don't want that. So keep on mixing the pasta. Also toss it a little bit, help it cool down. Okay, and I think I'm ready to add in the eggs now. We just drop that in. And we start mixing the egg mixture into the pasta. And to help the cheese melt, you can add just a little bit of the cooking water. And the objective here is to obtain a somewhat creamy sauce. We'll add in some more water. Alright, so I think we're done. All that's left is actually now serving the dish. So and then all that's left is adding some more pecorino on top and a good crack of black pepper. And that's spaghetti carbonara. I hope you enjoyed this video. Can't wait to dig into this spaghetti. Please leave your comments and feedback and complaints in the comments below. I hope to see you in another video, and please remember to subscribe to our channel. Till the next one, guys.